Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week 2 of the Millennial Prix. This week we are taking on the Wondershot Mystics division, and we've got 3 racers from there: OneFreeFitz, CapitalDS, and AtomRaptors, who are going to be racing for our pleasure, or have raced for our pleasure, and now we're going to get to have them brought forward tonight to show to everyone and to enjoy just a little bit of crazy Jets of Time randomness action. Tonight I'm joined by Esper, who is going to be doing commentary with me as we get to see how it's going. Esper, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing, I'm doing all right, I think.
That's good. Hopefully we're in for a good set of races. Neither of us have gotten to see these seats. We don't know who wins. We don't know what all the runners are going to run into, so this is going to be going on. Fitz says down with the humans, so we do have one of the runners in chat with us tonight, so that'll be good. We can get some insight there, maybe, as we will get underway here very shortly. While we're doing that, Esper, why don't you give a brief overview of what Jets of Time is for anyone who's out there who might not have seen Jets of Time before?
Well, Jets of Time is the, I guess it's the second Chrono Trigger randomizer. And it's basically, you have a world with the epoch the whole time, as far as I'm aware. And it's just kind of your standard randomizer, not too terribly different from, say, like Worlds Collide or Prix Enterprise.
All right, and in there we are looking for 3 different ways of getting to the end game. We'll talk about that as we get underway here, as we have the screen set up. Looks like we're ready to go. So bear with me as I try to time all of this properly.
I see we have the beginnings of a girl power seed right here.
Indeed, we have Marl and Luca coming out early. So we're going to have high magic coming through, at least.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see who our third is, or if they're going to stop searching after Ava, or what the plan is.
Yeah, so the way this works, you start off with 2 characters. You start off with, you're at level 1, you have no gear. You'll be sent with the epoch back to the year 600, where you can start looking for key items. There's a few that are just free for picking up. You're going to look for extra characters to add to your party. But in the end, you're looking to either go take down Lavos or Zeal, and we'll see where people go. And it looks like all 3 runners are heading shopping first. Oh, no, well, you have one person who's looking in the desert. But people looking for shopping, so you're going to see people picking up things like mid-tonics and ethers and heals, just to pick up some stuff, and we may have a stream lockup issue, unfortunately.
Well, it's just a little jittery, but I think we're all right. Who do we have here? We have Chrono.
Oh, no, we do have a break here, so I'm actually going to reset our streams real quick. Bear with me one moment. Technical difficulties. We're going to try to reset everything. We'll go back to some pregame music for a moment and get this reset. My apologies.
Okay.
Alright, I think we have solved the problems. So we are going to try to turn everything back on here. We'll get to watch the first few seconds of each of the races again. Alright, with luck, that means we have solved the technical issues. So...
With any due luck, yeah. So, we know who our characters are going to be, we know where Korenth is. With him being in the grotto, do you think they're going to go for him, or just let his ground thing?
Yeah, we'll see where people want to go. With this particular pairing, your third slot can be just about any character in the game, and you're pretty happy with it.
There are some characters who are better than others, like, I mean, Ayla obviously is better. Magus, I think I'd rather leave him than take him.
Yeah, I agree. Ayla's probably the best fit. Magus is probably the worst. Although, I mean, you do get the chance of a Mega Flare. No, Dark Eternal, if you have Magus in your party.
Yeah, which is useful, but it's all about if you find the Black Rock, like was mentioned in chat.
Yeah, gotta find the Black Rock to get it. Chrono would be great, but Chrono's also locked behind Magus's castle, and no one wants to go through Magus's castle. So I don't think we'll see Chrono later today.
Probably not. Robo might not be a bad choice. He's just kind of slow, but if you find the Robo's ribbon, then you're in business.
Yeah, Robo definitely would be Team Slowpoke. That would be the three slowest characters in the party together. We do see AtomRaptors is heading into the desert. He is going to get a few pieces of high-level gear, either to sell or equip, depending on how good it is. The gate key was for sale at the snail stop, so that means early access to the past and access to the level 15 character right off the bat, if you can make the climb up the Dactyl's nest without dying.
Yeah, that's the tricky one. Those cave apes, they kind of hit like a truck.
I mean, you're not supposed to be there till you're level 15, so it makes sense that level 1 characters would have some issues. We're also seeing them grab the one free item in the game, which is collecting what used to be tools from the guy who drinks too much soda pop. But now, tools have been replaced, and we're going to see what is here instead. CapitalDS is going to be the first to get the item.
And we have...
the Thomas
Pop.
So Thomas Pop... now, both of these runners had already been to the grave. This is one reason that you see a lot of people get the item first. On the off chance that you get the Thomas Pop, you can collect the speed tab here and turn in the Thomas Pop all at the same time.
Yeah, so maybe a bit of a time loss, but it's still early in the race, so no huge issue. I'm noticing an interesting point in chat. Wife was hiding husband's stash of pop. And he's at the bar drinking pop.
Yes. That's ridiculous. And wonderfully timed. And I don't know why we're having such issue with various freezes today.
I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing just kind of off and on Twitch problems with a couple different streams. I saw Fire 2 learn and Cure 2. And we have CapitalDS. Looks like they are going to be making the run for, well, either at the end of time or for that third character, and then hit the end of time.
Yeah, we'll see where they go. Looks like OneFreeFitz decided to go get some levels, and it's going to go straight for the Cathedral instead.
So we'll get to see our second, third character. We'll see who that is. Yep, and CapitalDS went to the end of time, and they want their magic, I guess.
I don't blame them. By going to Specchio now, you get your first 3 techs on any character who learns magic for free. Meaning that both Marl and Luca will unlock whatever the first 3 techs are. We already see that one of them is Fire 2.
We also saw a Cure 2. I see Mega Bomb
and Re-Raise. But by unlocking the techs here, your 4th tech will still only cost 5 tech points. So you can actually get another cheap tech. And we do see Frog on OneFreeFitz's side.
Yep, it's a vanilla frog.
So they get a frog, while CapitalDS and AtomRaptors have the potential to fight a frog. And Flare is going to be Tech 4.
Oh,
well, Luca has already implemented the I'm the best character status.
Yes, she has. And if they pick up Frog, and Frog's like Frog Squash is like 3rd or 4th on the list. Whew.
And now we will see if anyone decides to full clear the cathedral. Fritz is going to have the first check. A lot of runners now only clear the front end of cathedral, get a few pieces of gear, and then bug out, because you typically don't care too much about the character unlock you get afterwards, unless it happens in this case to be Robo and the desert's needed.
That is a good point. I didn't think all that much about it. But with Frog, it's tough to see where we're gonna do. Like,
well, the only 3 characters who can be required to beat the game are Frog, Marl, and Robo. Marl and Robo because they both lock a key item. Frog because technically you can't get into Magus's castle without him. All the other characters cannot be required to defeat the game, even though Ayla and Magus and Chrono certainly can make life easier.
Oh, yeah.
And we see CapitalDS is heading into Denador Mountain, is going to be picking up some lulls there. AtomRaptors picking up power tabs in Guardia Forests. They're and +4 today.
And OneFreeFitz is jumping on out of the cathedral.
Don't blame him. Looks like maybe going to go do his own end of time grab here now to unlock some magic. Which means he'll be able to get magic for Frog as well. Oh no, Fritz is taking on the most important quest in the game. Pet the cat.
Absolutely. I mean, you need to pet the cat for your run to be validated. You don't pet the cat, you don't win.
Yeah, so it is. Pet the cat before you leave. Good, Fritz. Fritz can now win the game because he has pet the cat. That is the most important thing.
Absolutely. Always pet the cat. Always pet the cat.
Pet the cat multiple times for good luck.
That's what my cat tells me, is pet him multiple times. Or he
my
will
cat
call you.
is pet her exactly 3.5 times. No more, no less, unless she wants a multiple of 3.5. So 3.5, 7, 10.5. But it is always some multiple of 3.5 pets. It's very specific.
Yeah. My cat will just go like, pet me for a while. Okay, now rub my cheeks. Okay, now I'm done. Look at that, you're bleeding.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So now, both Raptors and CapitalDS running into the cathedral. They're going to pick up their Frog, while Fritz is taking Frog to learn magic, along with Marl and Luca. So
this could be huge. Like if Frog learns Frog Squash, ooh, that's going to be big if he learns Frog Squash.
The only sad part about Frog is that so many of his techs are kind of lackluster on their own. Frog Squash is great at the end of the game when you have some HP, because it's based on your missing HP. Water 2 is not as good as Ice 2. Leap Slash is just Spin Cut. Now, Frog does get Heal. Heal is important. Well, Heal is fun to have, but...
Yeah, but then Robo also there's Heal.
Yes.
Which kind of...
But at least Frog has a naturally high magic stat, so it actually heals for good. Oh, and heal is Frog's first tech.
Not a bad deal, I don't think.
Yeah, I think I saw that in Slurp Cut. I didn't see the third tech. But with Luca in the party, your need for early magic damage is already satisfied, so I kind of expect all 3 runners to now converge on Hecarim's Cave, which is the best place to get tech points early. Although no one has gone to go get the Dactylness character yet.
Not yet, and I've also noticed that we haven't seen any bridge checks yet.
No, I did see a couple people drop in to trigger the bridge, but no one has gone to actually make the check yet. Raptors is the first to turn in the Nageta Bromide for the free tabs. You get a free speed tab, power tab, and magic tab there. And OneFreeFitz is going into Reptite Layer early. I don't know if this is to actually go clear it, or we're just going to go grind on the termites and hope for an early secret cavern.
No, it wouldn't be a bad move. Wow, we're using tabs already. It looks like Frog might be endgame.
Alright, so yeah, early tab dedication to Frog is interesting. If you said this was your final party... it's not my favorite in-game party, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I have some questions. It's not the group I would have picked.
Yeah, I would not have picked it without at least checking what's on Dactylness first.
Yeah, I would have held up for Ayla myself.
I mean, Ayla could be locked behind Cathedral, and so we'll never see her.
That's true. She could also be Dactyl Layer, or
could be in the future.
Yeah, which could that could be a while coming, as we need the pendant to hit the future.
Yeah. It would be interesting, but we are going to get to see who's on Dactylness. AtomRaptors is going to be the first to make that climb. We'll see if Raptors knows the skip here. Does not appear to yet. So it is possible to skip this fight, and the fight that comes immediately after it.
It is possible, but very difficult.
Yeah, It is a 2-frame window to be able to skip it. But Luca with 1 HP is the lone survivor, and will make the climb. And it looks like Fritz... Oh! Fritz gets the secret tunnel!
Alright. Let's see what's...
Everyone do your best to sing Secret Tunnel. If you don't know the song Secret Tunnel, you need to Google the song Secret Tunnel, and then come back, because it will be stuck in your head for the next 5 hours.
I'm commentating, so I'll listen to that after the game.
And we'll see what's in the secret tunnel. I didn't see the first chest. It's already been opened, unfortunately. We'll see the second chest here. I got distracted.
Oh, it's a Vigil Hat.
Vigil Hat and a Sight Cap. Okay, so by getting the secret tunnel, you get access to 2 late-game-ish chests. Ayla's on top of Dactyl's Nest, so there's your all-girl power team.
Oh, yeah.
And CapitalDS is diving into Hecarim's Cave to go earn a bunch of tech points.
Alright, so yeah, AtomRaptor has the team that, personally.
It is definitely one of the stronger teams. It is not as crazily overpowered as it used to be. A few patch updates have changed it a bit. Triple Kick, Blaze Kick isn't quite as strong, but it's still possibly the best team in the game. Definitely in the top 3 combinations you can get. And with +4 power tabs, Ayla's just going to wreck face.
Which is the best way to go. And it looks like we're doing the bridge check.
Yeah, I'm hoping AtomRaptors saved before going in. If you save before going in here, you can check the item, and if it's no good, hard reset out and not have to actually do the fights.
Yeah, if you don't save beforehand, you're basically committed to it.
Oh, we see a speed belt going on tomorrow. Also of note, if you do go through with the fight on Xenon Bridge, you get a free full heal in the screen transition, so you don't have to use mid-tonics or anything to heal up here. It basically acts like you got a free shelter. And the item is the pendant, so everyone is going to go to Xenon Bridge.
Oh, yes.
And Magus is in Reptite Cave. This is not the Magus that you find at the end of Magus Castle. This is Magus as if it were the Northern Cape in the year 12,000 BC after Zeal has crashed. Spoiler alerts, Zeal crashes into the sea, and then you have the chance to go fight and kill and or recruit Magus there. Here you don't get the chance to recruit him, but also you don't have to fight him with Frog alone. So that's nice.
Dude, Zeal crashes? Oh man. I always wondered what would happen.
And Empire asks, what's the rules for Millennial Prix? It is a tiered async league. This race is already done, which is why Fritz is here able to comment on his own run. He has already done it, and he knows what's going to happen because he's already seen it. We're not quite that crazy. But no, the 12,000 BC Magus fight is very interesting because he doesn't do much until he drops below half health. But once he drops below half health, he starts doing AoE magic like it's going out of style. And can rip apart an unprepared team. We see almost one-shotting Marl there. Luke and Frog can probably take a hit.
Ooh, but Anthropo 2 is actually a huge help here. Just because it does a bunch of damage. As
there. Here comes another attack out from Magus. Marl's gonna drop.
And
Frog and Luca down to minimal HP. Now Frog's on. It is just Luca left. Oh no, there's a green dream on that Frog.
Reasons to bring your healer 101. Re-raise. CapitalDS has found himself a Giga Gaia.
So we got Giga Gaia fights going on in Hecarim's Cave. We have Slash sitting on the end of Xenon Bridge. And Magus fighting. We got 3 boss fights going on. We see lots of techs coming out. We got Flame World down on the bottom left. Giga Gaia doing the double attacks coming out. So, I mean, that's a team that's going to take some damage. Meanwhile, Luca and Frog trying to survive against Magus and get some damage out. Giga Gaia already lost his hands.
Which is good, because like...
That's the bulk of the damage.
Yep.
And it looks like we have Oedipo 3 and Oedipo 2 coming out, so got plenty of damage there.
Oh yeah, Oedipo 3 is just... It's probably... Well, okay, it is better than a Dark Matter, I believe.
Alright, and we now see... We got an elixir picked up. CapitalDS is through his boss fight. Slash has taken down Luca on Raptor's side. On Fritz's screen, Marl is still down. Frog is out of MP, can no longer heal. I'm going to have to rely on mid-tonics going forward. Luca out of MP can't do any damage.
Oh boy.
This is looking kind of iffy there. Slash has gone into his counter-attack phase on the bridge, and the Dreamstone was picked up at Luca's house as your reward for clearing Hecarim Cave, so lots of stuff dropping down here.
Oh yeah.
And Magus has dropped, so we will see the item from Reptite Cave now. Ayla is down on the bridge, and Marl taking a huge hit, and is also down. That's going to be a party wipe for AtomRaptors. Is going to have to restart. No. But we know you have to do Xenon Bridge because you're going to get your pendant. And the the Ruby Knife is in Reptite Lair. Go mode is known 19 minutes into the race.
Holy cow.
If CapitalDS goes straight to Reptite Lair, he'll be in go mode. And Fritz is going to go to Hecarim Cave, so he'll be in go mode.
Oh, this is looking good.
And AtomRaptors decided to come to the desert because the desert allows you to kill things with ice too and get lots of tech points and levels very quickly. So this is going to solve the level problem by just coming and grinding for some levels.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not going to get the item, but you'll probably live without it, as far as we're aware.
Yeah, you can't pick up the item here because you don't have Robo in your party, which means I don't expect to see Atom fight the boss here either. You can get all the items without fighting the boss. Yeah, actually, I think AtomRaptors already cleared out the boss room of treasures at the start of the game.
I think he might have.
Some of the chests look like they're already open. And now we see OneFreeFitz heading to Xenobridge. So we'll find the pendant, which might be the one item that would keep him from going to Hecarim's cave. Because once you get the pendant, you can go to the future, get your charged pendant, open all the sealed chests. You could do Eris Dome and get more sealed chests.
Now, it wouldn't surprise me to see him do that. It's just the biggest question. If he goes to prison, is he going to free Fritz or not?
Yes, it's very important that OneFreeFitz frees Fritz. And did Fritz reset out of pendant?
I have questions.
I do too. Fritz? Fritz is in chat. Fritz, what were you thinking? You reset out of pendant? Okay.
Oh, I have no words.
I am very interested in there. Fritz says he's looking for the Dreamstone and has checks to do still. That's fair. I mean, I can't say I haven't done similar things. Typically, it's avoiding Mount Low when I know that it's there. Also, I'd like to, since I think we have some of the admins of the Millennial Prix here, I'd like to ask, how is the pendant not on Mount Woe? Because in the Rainbow Division, 3 weeks running, the pendant's been on Mount Woe.
Oh, and you're in Rainbow Division.
Yeah, I am. And I keep leaving it because I keep saying there's no way it's going to be there again.
Except for it is.
Except it is. Again.
Oh, it looks like Fritz does want a Mount Woe required seed.
Just make your way to Rainbow Division. Mount Woe's required every seed so far. So no, we are seeing Fritz head up the Denadoro Mountain looking for the Dreamstone, which we know where it is, but Fritz didn't. Raptors has gone back to the bridge and is going to be taking a second shot at getting the pendant. CapitalDS is in Reptite Lair, which means potential go mode find here in just a moment. Also managed to find the secret tunnel.
Wow, this is a kind of a stacked seed, isn't it? Seraph Song is... That's an accessory, it's not a...
Oh, Fritz says he's the one who roads the rainbow seeds. We get to blame him. Okay, now I know who to blame.
Good.
Yes. It's all coming together. Alright, so let's see, silver earrings picked up. So, extra HP. Throw that on Marl. And we see AtomRaptors taking out all the things. I have not paid attention to see if Ozzy is dropping any good gear. Megaton arms and mid-ethers. The mid-ethers are good. Megaton arm is good if you happen to find a Robo eventually.
Yeah, I think the key is eventually.
Right. Although you have Ayla, so I don't know that you'll ever do it. Also, Fritz passing up the fact that mountains are nice.
But we'll never know for sure, really. I mean, we know that there are mountains, but are they nice?
Oh, no, the mountains are always nice.
And what is the life? We don't know. We'll never know.
What did magic tabs roll? I want to say magic tabs are +2. Fritz is correcting me and saying they're +1. Power tabs are +4. And speed tabs are still just +1s.
Ooh.
Oh, we get our first rock, and the rock is the white rock. So, no crazy shenanigans yet with Dark Eternal or anything.
Oh no, but you can learn Pyozo Dance, I guess.
You could.
For all the good it's worth, which is
minimal. I mean, you might run into something like double golems or something where it becomes useful. And we're gonna have Antipode 3 drops on Magus in Reptite Lair. Meanwhile, OneFreeFitz is taking on Dinadoro, is facing Massa and Mune. And the counterattack phase has restarted for AtomRaptors versus Slash round 2. Luca dropped down to 89 HP.
Ouch.
But has the damage to get through this time, and will be the first to get their pendant.
And Massa and Mune dropped a Green Dream.
I mean, having a Green Dream is nice. Free res is always good to have, particularly since if you're running Morrow, Luca plus anyone, they're pretty squishy.
Yeah, they are incredibly squishy.
And it looks like Massa and Mune perform the fusion dance and become Nizbel. Don't question it.
Okay, if you insist.
And now AtomRaptors is having Ayla, the cave woman, also the most powerful mage in the game, sent to prison. You're like, wait, Ayla doesn't learn magic. How is she the most powerful mage? She can summon dinosaurs through time. She is the most powerful mage in the game.
Yeah, it took a couple levels of Time Mage from Final Fantasy V. Don't question it, just works.
And we have a reset on Magus from CapitalDS as the AoE attacks are just a bit too strong to get through. And resetting, coming back in for round 2. Against Nizbel, Frog cannot do any damage unless he happens to know water, but he can cast heal. Meanwhile, Luca and Morrow can play the flare game. Except they're gonna run out of MP, so we'll see if enough damage is able to be picked up there. And they're through. Nizbel has fallen, so we'll see what Fritz gets off the top of the mountain. All we know is that it won't be what he's looking for.
You never know. Depending on what he finds, he could find his way into
could find jerky.
Or a clone. Or a Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, but we know that he's looking for the Dreamstone, and we know where the Dreamstone is. And we know that the pendant is on the bridge, so... the only other great item at this point, the Grand Leon, would be nice, or the Hero Medal, since he's keeping Frog in the party. Speak of the devil, there's the Hero Medal. And if he's really lucky, the Hero Medal is going to open the Grand Leon.
That would be awesome.
Also, makes Frog surprisingly useful in the endgame.
Yeah, I mean, Frog seems kind of useless until you give him the Grand Leon and the Hero Medal.
Yeah. Then the damage gets ridiculous.
No.
We have our first new sighting. For those who are interested, the Hero Medal has been upgraded in Jets of Time. Now, instead of just providing a boosted crit rate for the Masamune, it provides Sun Specs and Barrier to Frog. And there's new number 2.
I'm sorry,
and we are not taking the time to fight it. And we found a Robo Ribbon. So the Hero Medal, which is the buff item, unlocked the second buff item for a character we don't have. Ayla has just about finished breaking out of prison. That's a very quick prison break. And Capital has defeated Magus, so we are going to see our first go mode picked up here at a very early 30 minutes. The downside is you're in very early go mode. You've got to find somewhere to grind a couple of levels before going into Terrena Layer.
Oh, I forgot about Terrena Layer. I thought you could just go straight into the Undersea Palace and grind there.
No, you've got to get to Undersea Palace. You do have to defeat either Terrena Layer or Magus's Castle.
Fritz, no.
And you can't do Magus's Castle because you don't have those parts, both parts of the Massive Moon.
Fritz, no. No, Fritz, no. What are you doing? No.
He is selling off some stuff. Did we make a visit to Zeal?
No. It's much worse than that. Oh, Fritz, what is...
Fritz is buying mid-ethers.
And where is he?
Near Zeal. Getting ready to go up Mount Woe.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Mount Woe is a good play. Where we get early access to it now, because you can get access to it as soon as you get a hold of the gate key, you can actually level up very quickly on Mount Woe. Probably the best grinding spot, or at least best leveling spot. You get some high-level gear, and with Luca with Flare in your party, and assuming you found that speed belt earlier, she's fast enough, it's a relatively safe grind.
Well, I guess you have a good point. It's just one of those chefs that I don't like to make, just like Magus's Castle. Ugh.
And with the boss rando in place, because if viewers haven't noticed, bosses are randomized, you're not going to run into probably not going to run into Gigagaia up here. And we know we're not, because we already found Gigagaia. So you could actually end up with a fairly easy boss, like the 4R series robot fight. Or you could run into something terrible like Elder Lava Spawn. And we see Capital doing the desert grind, picking up some gear here. That's a good, that's actually a pretty good grinding spot. Your places for grinding, since you found an early go mode, you can come to desert, pick up some levels, pick up some gear. You can grind in Reptite Layer. The termite fight is actually a decent source of both XP and tech points and gold. If you found somewhere that like sold lapises or mid-ethers or something, or you could go climb Mount Woe.
You go right away for that one.
And on Mount Woe, the typical pattern goes, you ignore the rubbles, you ignore any fight with the imps carried by birds, but fights with just gargoyles or gargoyles and man-eaters can be one-shot by Flare or Ice 2. And you can use that to pick up good XP and tech points.
You know what? I hate to do it, but I'm going to duck out. I'm not feeling super hot, so I'm just going to take care of myself.
All right. Take care of it. We'll keep going here.
All right. I will try to be back, but I can't guarantee anything.
Don't worry about it.
Everyone take care.
So we are having Raptors making the first trip to the future as the first person here. Raptors will have access to the sealed chests. And the first thing to get the sealed doors is 3 items here in this dome and 2 at the dome to the south. We found ourselves a mermaid cap, so between that and the secret tunnels, we know there are at least 3 good hats to be had. And Capital has cleared the way and has picked up all the items here. A blue mail. Blue mail's good to find, as good defense, and is really good if you end up going the Zeal route, because that protects you from Hextech and the ridiculousness that is a very angry Zeal. And now with the pendant in tow, we'll see where AtomRaptors decides to go. Hecarim's Cave is still available. Eris Dome is another fairly easy check. dropping into Lab 32 just to pick up a couple of items. It's not bad. It does look like we're going to be heading to Eris Dome next. So we'll see another item and another set of 4 sealed chests to pick up. Whereas Capital, so far the only person with that go mode in hand is heading back into Tyranno Palace to see if the levels picked up in Desert are enough to make our way through. I have not seen what has been picked up on Mount Woe. Fritz, if you're still in chat, did you find anything good on Mount Woe? Alright, in Reptile Lair, we're going to go ahead and start the runaway. You can run from all the fights versus the Reptites in the early part. Make stuff. We see our boss in Eris Dome is one of the mutants. You hope that it's Mega Mutant, and it is. Mega Mutant is the easiest of the 3 mutants, although it does start off with a Chaos Zone, which is not necessarily the Chaos effect. Today, it appears to be the slow effect, so anyone without slow protection moves at half speed. But that's not the worst thing you could run into. It's not lock. It's not stop. And Antipode 3 one-shot it. So, yeah. That's good. That's a nice, easy fight. That's a good, easy key item. Nice job there by AtomRaptors. Of course, now you have the most difficult fight in the game. Well, I say fight. Most difficult boss of the game. Catch the Rat. I cannot count how many friends I had growing up who quit Chrono Trigger because they had not figured out how to run fast enough to catch the rat. And they would get to this point in the game in vanilla and quit because you can't progress forward. And we see Fritz picked up a Brave Sword for Frog, so gonna have some better equipment here possibly. And some nice movement by Capital, dodging as many fights as possible in the Tyranno Lair. Did a good job through the secret room and has made it, is trying to make it past down just a bit more. Okay, that's good. Seeing some very nice movement patterns out of Capital here to avoid as many fights as possible. Although, given how early go mode was, taking the fights might not be terrible, so you have a few more levels for the fight against the Tyranno and Azala. Looks like our first boss in Tyranno Lair is going to be one of the golems. Fortunately, it's not the golem boss, it's just a regular golem. But this team is pretty well situated to take care of it. As you can alternate fire and ice magic to make sure you just take single target attacks back. So, we're just going to lay into it with Antipodes and Leaf Slashes, I guess. The downside of doing that is that it's going to counter with AoE shadow damage, which is... Well, I was going to say it does a surprising amount of damage, but Lucas got blackmail on, obviously, so is actually able to survive. And we saw a couple of the almost last set of items that you get on Mount Woe there for Fritz. Saw a Hyper Ether drop there, so getting some good consumables there. I haven't seen anything huge drop. Raptors is getting the key item there is the Moonstone, which is only useful after you find the Prism Shard. So right now the Moonstone just feels kind of like a consolation prize, unfortunately. Fritz is coming up on the boss of Mount Woe. We'll see who's located up there. AtomRaptors ducking into Sun Palace. This is a dangerous fight. In this version of the randomizer with the randomized bosses, we have what's called boss spot HP. And the spot HP of this boss is very high, but it is a vanilla Son of Sun sitting in the spot, which means it's still just a simple hit the correct flame 10 times and you win. So a very lucky find there by Raptors. Now we just have to find the correct flame. More nice movement there from CapitalDS, avoiding another set of fights. And it's going to pick up a free save point here, as well as a couple of pieces of gear, as Fritz gets ready to take on the boss of Mount Woe, who today is Dalton! Everyone's favorite. Everyone say bye to Fritz's team. It's not quite that bad. At least there's not two of them. But whatever attack hits Dalton, Dalton counters with the opposing element. With Frog in the party, at least you have AoE heals. You just have to hope you can kill it in under 4 turns. Because under 4 turns, or after the 4th turn, Dalton one-hit KOs 2 members of your party, basically. Son of Sun appeared to be too much. It is just kind of a timing thing, or having enough HP to survive a Flare Blast, and I think Raptors doesn't quite have it yet. So instead is heading to Hecarim Cave, which we know is a great spot to go because it's got, you're getting close to your go mode, as Capital is getting ready to face the Black Tyranno and see if we can get through that fight. Zala is sitting there. We'll see what we can. Looks like we're going to just drop Antipode 3 repeatedly. Alright, we see Marl fell and was rezzed. I don't know if that was by re-raise or by Green Dream. I think it was by Green Dream. Now Dalton with a slash that does 154 damage. The next attack, the next non-counter attack from Dalton will be a one-hit KO. And on Capital side, we're just waiting for the Tyranno to remove his defense. He has done so, and so now all the damage is going to come out. They're trying to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 to 10,000 damage onto Black Tyranno before the countdown finishes. The HP of the spot is random within a value. I believe it goes from 8,000 to 13,000. And here's the first big attack. Not a one-hit KO. Frog with the hero medal is actually able to survive. Marl is not. But that means you only had one-hit KO in an ATB bar, not 2, and that's going to make Dalton clearable. And there's the final flare as Dalton summons the Golem Balls, only to realize that what he's really done is sucked himself into a black hole so that he can disappear until the year 10 or 1010 and start off the events of Chrono Cross. All Dalton's fault. And on top of the mountain, now we go see Fritz picking up another item. I hope it's not the Prism Shard. Oh no, it is the Prism Shard. Which means there's yet somewhere else that Fritz could go other than Hecarim Cave. And it looks like, unfortunately, Capital is not able to defeat Black Tyranno. Took a loss there. Is being kicked back out to the safe point. We'll see if we go straight back in or if we leave to grind first. Down on the bottom left, AtomRaptors is taking on Giga Gaia, who we've seen earlier. Will this be enough? Fritz petting the cat again for more good luck. And is immediately going to go turn in the Prism Shard. following the sadness trail that is the Prism Shard. Wait. Stopping, thinking, and realizing you have to go turn in the Prism Shard before you can do the quest. So now we see Capital trying to pick up a few extra levels. AtomRaptors is going to pick up the Dreamstone, so only missing the Ruby Knife, which we know is in Reptite Layer. Does have the gate key, so does have access. We'll just see how long it takes AtomRaptors to head to 65 million BC. There are a few other checks that people like to do that are about the same priority. A lot of times that's Denadora, which is where it looks like AtomRaptors is heading. Giant's Claw, because everyone got the Thomas Pop, is a possibility. Alright, sitting at level 20. That's a pretty good level for the Black Tyranno fight. Unfortunately, with this team, it is a bit slow. So, may just see if they can find some more speed. Magic Ring on Marl is a good choice. That's going to improve the damage of Antipode. Does Capital have haste? I don't think so. I don't think haste has been unlocked yet. I won't swear to it, but I don't remember seeing it used yet. I'll try to keep an eye on everyone's text for a moment just to see. See, Fritz is taking the newly revamped Prism Shard quest, allowing us to skip half the cutscenes, while AtomRaptors is doing the skips on Denadora Mountain. Nice job there. He's got one more big skip to avoid 5 minutes of unavailable fights. Fritz finds out that the Chancellor is actually a robot in disguise. I feel like I need to play the Transformers theme at this point. But instead, we're going to hit it with Antipode 3. We're topping off everyone. Going to make another attempt here on Black Tyranno. We'll see if we're able to get there. Not much in the way of weapons for anyone, but again, weapons don't matter too much for this team because all your damage comes from casting Antipode. And Frog casting heal, I guess. Now, it looks like the item menu got a bit messed up there. But now finding the ethers, making sure that we keep the damage available. Defense hasn't been dropped yet, so that Leap Slash unfortunately won't do any damage. But it doesn't actually waste anything. And the robot has been destroyed, so OneFreeFitz will now be free to go into the basement and collect the item from the Rainbow Shell. While coming off of Denadora Mountain, AtomRaptors is starting the fight with Massa and Mune, who will then fuse into Nizbel. We've seen that fight before. Also in the basement, a set of good items, the Rainbow Sword for Chrono, who is stuck in Frogsborough behind the Massa and Mune pieces, the Massa Mune pieces that we have not seen hide nor tail of. So, a sword for a sword fighter who we will not see in this game. Probably. And from the Rainbow Shell we get a bit of a cutscene and the Chrono Trigger. So, part of what's needed for one of the other go modes. For anyone who's new, the way that you can get to the end of the game, you have to have one of 3 go modes. One is what CapitalDS has already found, which is the Gate Key, plus Dreamstone, plus Ruby Knife. The other popular one is having the Pendant, the Clone, and the Chrono Trigger, which allows you to climb Death Peak, do the quest to bring back a fallen friend, which summons the Black Omen, and you can go kill Zeal 2. The least favorable go mode is to find both broken pieces of the Masamune, and that gives you access to Magus's castle. Both it and Tyranno Lair will take you into the Undersea Palace where you can go fight Lavos. Unfortunately, we do see CapitalDS lost the fight to Black Tyranno again. Just does not quite have the damage yet, or the speed. And I imagine the limiting factor really is probably more mana than anything else, because Enipo 3 using Flare repeatedly just costs so much. And it looks like the solution is going to be Capital is looking to exit the Tyranno Lair and maybe go grind some levels somewhere. And now we see OneFreeFitz has finally made his way to Hecarim's Cave, where he will finally find the Dreamstone and get his go mode. All with never having gotten the pendant from Xenon Bridge. AtomRaptors did defeat Nizbel and has come to claim the Hero Medal reward, which we know is just the Robo's ribbon. So, a little bit of sadness there. And yes, DBZ Tribby says it's a good thing that OneFreeFitz reset out of Xenon Bridge. I guess. I mean, it means you didn't spend any time doing stuff in the future or doing the trial scene, I guess. Chuckleser is saying, if you took the ruby vest off of Ayla, would that plus a barrier allow Frog to survive? I think the solution to surviving would be to actually reduce your damage output and use Marl's turns. She has re-raise. She could cast re-raise on the party, and you could be resurrected during the fight after Black Tyranno gets the big attack off. Your party just dies, and then all immediately stand up. So re-raise is available. That was the second tech, I think, that got unlocked. Although in Capital's defense, it would have been unlocked by unlocking magic, so he never saw it pop up and say, Marl has learned re-raise, so if you didn't pay attention when scrolling through the tech menu, might not realize that re-raise is available. But instead, we're going to see Capital looks like is going to go to Mount Woe to go look for items, which we know Fritz already took the time to go up there, so this is a bit of an equalizer. It's going to give Fritz a chance to catch up, because Giga Guy goes down in one hit. No surprise there. And AtomRaptors is in Tyranno Palace, but only after it's been sitting underground for 65 million years, because this is Giant's Claw instead, which we have not seen anyone go into yet, so this is a new check for us. We are seeing CapitalDS try to take on the Rebels, who have very high evasion, but you have the right team to do this fight. Frog will do decent damage. Marl and Luca will hit more often than not just because they have naturally high hit rates. And you get a lot of XP and a lot of tech points for doing the fight, so not bad if you're just looking for grinding. And it looks like our fight in Giant's Claw is the Guardian fight. This is actually a very scary fight to have here, because whatever attack you use to take out the bits either has to be a single target attack or do a lot of damage, because the bit HP has gone up because it's in a higher boss spot location. Anapode 3, though, probably takes care of it still. So we expect to see that to go fairly well. Did we get a lock? I think we've got a lockup on Fritz's stream. Let's see if we can fix that. Mian has said, I think Fritz took a break during his stream. Okay, that makes me feel a little better, because I saw the timer is stopped. And I can't tell if the video is broke or not. So hopefully that means we'll just have a bit of a pause here and come back. That is one of the downsides to doing the ASICs. And the fact that I didn't get to watch them all the way through beforehand. So I did not know that. Yes, Angro points out, everyone has petted the cat. This is very important. Always pet the cat. We see AtomRaptors has gone back to the end of time and is fighting, or is getting magic for Frog. Pet what cat? Oh, the cat in Chrono's house. Yes. That is what the cat tracker on the auto tracker's for. It's very important. I will not agree with people who do not turn off the... Okay, well... I guess you're not agreeing with me, because I am very much a do not turn off the new function. New could have been left alone. Actually, if Gaspar was so smart... Oh, no, it's not Gaspar. Balthazar was smart enough to know to program the new to do all this stuff, he could have programmed in an auto-off function for the new. So really, it's Balthazar's fault that the new is not turned off. That could have been handled automatically. That's the engineer in me complaining. Alright, so we now see Frog has picked up water too, so we have some magic damage off of Frog. He might actually do real damage now. AtomRaptors has gone back and is trying to take on Son of Sun again. Has brought in Ayla because of her higher base speed to have a slightly better time. Also comes equipped naturally with a Ruby Vest, so has higher fire defense. Auto functions can get scrambled after a while. A switch is legit. Fair. And everyone has survived the flare attack, but I don't think AtomRaptors has managed to find the right flame, or the correct flame yet. And as I say that, there we go. Find the first hit. And let's grab the second and the third. And then Tepinetto asking, why is Capital on Woe? And Angro is correct. Levels and gear. He has tried and failed to fight Black Tyranno twice. So is looking for a few extra levels to make the fight slightly better. What this is doing is giving Fritz a chance to catch up, as Fritz was in a position where he could have had go mode in roughly 25 minutes, and it took another 20 to 25 minutes for him to find it, because he did a few other dungeons before going to Hecarim's Cave. But now, all that's paying off because he has the extra levels and may not have issues with Black Tyranno. So we are seeing a bit of a replay here as everyone is making their way through dungeons we have already seen. AtomRaptors still taking on Son of Sun. Ayla gets dropped though, so I have not been counting attacks on Son of Sun. I don't know how close we are to 10. Son of Sun losing its fire, so that means AtomRaptors has successfully completed the Son of Sun fights. You just have to wait for the flames to disappear now. And dropping a Kali Blade and Blue Mails. Okay, that's not bad. The Blue Mail's nice. And we're going to see what item gets picked up here. We've seen the Chrono Trigger drop. This is the clone. So Raptors is one item away from 2 different go modes. And we have seen no sight of the broken hilt and the broken blade. Exactly as how things should be. Chocosur pointing out, could do Evil Weevils for levels at this point. That's true. The Evil Weevils and the entrance of Reptile Lair that we're about to see AtomRaptor go look at are a decent source of XP and don't require you to walk up and down Mount Woe. Mount Woe does have the advantage of having decent gear on it, possibly. More often than not, you can find either a pair of Sun Specs or Prism Specs up there, although I think this time there was not actually that much good on the mountain. But I do agree that once you've made it up this far, yeah, go ahead and save and go fight the boss, because it's faster than walking down. Now, unfortunately for CapitalDS, we know who's waiting for him here. Dalton, round 2, says, I didn't get it done on Fritz's side, so we're going to see what happens over here. This is possibly the scariest thing you could run into at this point. On the plus side, if you beat Dalton, beating Black Tyranno ought to be fairly easy. Choco Sir pointing out Slash here is nasty. Yes, because he would have such high HP and the counterattacks do so much damage. And now we see Fritz getting ready to do his first attempt at Black Tyranno. We'll see if Fritz is able to make his way through. See, people say depending on elemental armor, you might reset the Dalton. I would probably give Dalton one attack, or one attempt. If I died, I'd walk down the mountain. Oh no! Oh, Luca down to 4 HP. And now begins the cavalcade of one-hit KOs. At least one of them is wasted on Luca. Did I just see there were no revives in that inventory? So we gotta use life too to bring them back? Alright, the second one-hit KO goes on the white mage. It is all down to Luca and Frog for Capital. Over on Fritz's side, we see the attacks going on. Looks like Luca has been hasted. So haste is available once you get deep enough in the tech tree, obviously. What triggers the one-hit KO? Time. The third and fourth attacks. Or is it the fourth and fifth attacks? Fourth and fifth attacks from Dalton are automatic one-hit KOs as part of his script. And I say automatic one-hit KOs. They are major damage hits. Technically, they're blocked by shields. And so someone with really high armor and HP can survive them. But at this level, without a shield up, I think everyone not named Robo dies. Yes, it's the same attack as Terra Mutant. Capital has made it past Dalton with a 2 HP Frog. The downside is, Luke Marl doesn't get any experience. So, yeah, I mean, Robo just has naturally high base HP. He's the one person who might get enough HP to survive. I'm trying to think if anyone else gets enough base HP to survive without a shield. OneFreeFitz has defeated Black Tyranno, so 1 entry, 1 kill there. Ayla might. It is a physical attack, so the fact that she has crap all for magic defense doesn't matter. Maybe if she had an earring on. No, that would actually be an interesting thing. Maybe that will be something I do in the near future. Is find a seed that has Dalton in it, figure out what level Dalton is, and then do a comparison. What level does every character need to be to survive that attack? But now, Fritz has cleared Tyranno, is going to be the first to make it to the Ocean Palace, but we are going to stop by everyone's favorite shopping ground in Zeal to see what is for sale today. Everyone's favorite shop where there's guaranteed pendants and you hope that you find like some mega elixirs or hyper ethers. This is not the great shop. There's actually 2 shops here for people who are new. If you talk to the new from the right, you get a mediocre shop. Don't buy anything here, please. Go around to the top, and you get a better shop. Where there's a guaranteed amulet, which is useful for status protection, although we did already see a Vigil Helm come out, so you might not need it. But we did see today, Mega Elixirs for sale for 50,000 gold. So I would expect everyone buys a Mega Elixir. And if they don't have the Vigil Hat, an amulet. Tependo says they found out that last stream. Yes! One of the odd things about it here, that you can have that extra shop. Every once in a while, that second shop, the one where you talk to the dude from the right, might have something kind of nice, like mid-ethers or full ethers. And if you didn't spend all your money at the expensive shop, you might find something a little bit helpful. Now, with Black Tyranno down, we are going to see our next fight. Typically, you find a golem here. And instead, today, OneFreeFitz will be facing a locked door. It'll take a moment. Oh, it's going to be a Zombor! Since Fritz skipped the bridge, he still gets to fight Zombor. Leading off with a flare. Now, Zombor has elemental protection. The top half is weak to ice and shadow, and the bottom half is weak to fire and lightning. Unfortunately, if you kill the bottom half first, it actually makes the fight more difficult. The attacks are worse. When you kill the top half, you get hit with an MP buster. Now we give good luck wishes to Capital as we see the fight against Black Tyranno, round 3 for him. And this time, haste is available, so we're getting Luca hasted. So that should be good to go. Looks like we're saving up to drop an Antipode here. Oh no, we're just going to go ahead and get haste done. And they just don't want to trigger the... Oh, I have accidentally... My apologies, people. Accidentally dragged the screen. So just make sure everyone's hasted before the countdown begins here. Makes sense. Fritz has defeated Zombor, so with that done, we'll get access to the Undersea Palace and see if I can get his sound up. That is a little bit quiet. Hopefully that still works okay for people. Let me know if it's not loud enough. And we'll now see Capital with the haste. Will he have enough damage and MP to make it through this fight? The downside of using haste on everyone, Marl's HP or MP is fairly low. Will there be enough for the Ice 2 cast here? Fritz looks like, feels like he's in a bit of a hurry, is skipping easily accessible chest just to save a few extra seconds. And this will be the final Antipode from Capital. Luca completely out of mana. And down to a 4 on the countdown, so we'll have time to get MP back. Gonna drop a full ether onto Luca. That makes sense. Now, I have not seen Frog Squash learn yet, so I don't know if we have Frog Squash available to make our way through the elevator quickly. Fritz did not grab Ayla off the mountain at all, so doesn't have Dino Tails to fall back. And we see AtomRaptors has caught up to CapitalDS, is looking to make his way through Black Tyranno. Capital finally making it through his boss, and is going to be making their way to the Undersea Palace as well. And we've entered the part of the race where everyone stops and grinds for a bit, unfortunately, as this is the grinding spot of the game. The fights here give a lot of XP, give 80 tech points. If you had anyone who needed techs, you can guarantee that you get them here. If you're in a rush and trying to make your way through, starting from this fight, so including this one fight, if you take every fight from this room through the double boss, which in vanilla is the double golems, you will get roughly 650 tech points. So if you know how many tech points you need, you can kind of cheat your way through and say, I know how many I need to have it available for the final boss. Unfortunately, the double boss is worth 256 of those tech points. So if you want the fight for that, the techs for that fight, you've got to do extra grinding up here. And it looks like Fritz says that's enough grinding for me. We're going to move on. Typically, you're looking to be about level 30 coming out of this set of fights. And with that'll put you at about level 32 when you go to fight Lavos. Raptors also defeating Black Torreno is going to be making their way. So all three runners probably within about 5 minutes of each other at this point. All entering Ocean Palace about the same time. All going to be getting to Lavos within a few minutes of each other. Should mean that we have a very interesting end to this run. Of course, Lavos can be the great equalizer. If particularly Lavos 3 decides he doesn't want you to win today, he'll just go into slap mode and slap your characters around, and you do not get to win until Lavos decides that he's done playing with his food. We'll see what everyone else is buying. We see Mega Elixirs and Amulets for sale. It's important that you have at least one character with some form of status protection against stop, just in case the Lavos 1, when it casts obstacle is stop. The last thing you want to do is get there and have no way to make it through the shell. Technically, also Lavos 2, but if you can make it through Lavos 1, Lavos 2, obstacles not a problem anymore. You've already beaten it once. Now we have the Grand Elevator fight. I'm looking at OneFreeFitz's screen. We have not dropped Frog's HP, which tells me we are not planning on using Frog Squash as our way to clear the scout fight. So that probably means we're just looking at single target magic attacks and slowly poking our way through whatever scouters show up. Is Leap Slash going to do enough damage? Yeah, okay, Leap Slash will kill one, so that means Flare can still be used here, which means Luca has just enough MP to finish off this fight. But Luca's going to have no... oh, she still has 20 MP. Okay. I'm going to say Luca's not going to have any MP for the Scouter fight, but no, I miscounted. Oh, it looks like Luca does not know Fire 1. So you can't use Fire 1, but Flame Toss does enough damage. And so you're able to take out Does Marl know Ice One? Yes. So that means 3 go down pretty easily. Meanwhile, CapitalDS, AtomRaptors both taking on Zombor. CapitalDS just finishing it off, picks up a gold earring for his troubles. And Tepanido, you're right. You could do Leap Slash plus Ice 1, Fire 2, something like that to minimize counters. You could. With this team, you Leap Slash the Lightning 1. You cast Ice 1. Wait for Frog to come back up. Leap Slash the other Lightning 1. Flare, and you only take 1 Lightning counter. That would be relatively safe. Marl does go down and resurrects with a Green Dream. So we know that Marl's holding on to a Green Dream. That's probably a smart place to have it, because Marl's really squishy. As AtomRaptors finishes up his Zombor fight. So all 3 now into the Ocean Palace. As OneFreeFitz finishes the elevator sequence at 120.46. So we'll use that kind of as a ballpark figure to see how far behind people are. Expect to see Capital and Raptors do a little bit of grinding as well, just to get levels up. Looks like Raptors team is around level 24, 26. I did not see Capital or Fritz's levels yet. Green Dream over Silver Earring. On Marl, yes. In general, probably. Being able to be rezzed to full health means you don't have to worry if someone takes a hit. Silver Earring means you still have to take hits and keep an eye on health and spend time on health. So Green Dream is probably better than Silver Earring, unless you're Robo and you're doing something like Crisis Arm. I want you to have 999 max HP. I have seen strategies where if you find like 3 Green Dreams, you go fight Lavos at level 26, but everyone wears a Green Dream so that even when Lavos kills your team, you just pop right back up, and that buys you enough time to actually win the fights. But it does require you to find 3 Green Dreams, or to spend time using Marl to cast Re-Raise. And that's true. Angro points out, Green Dream only saves you from 1 big hit. The nightmare of all nightmares is running into double Daltons, because then you're taking like 4 big hits in the span of 1 ATB, and Green Dreams will not save you there. Don't ask how I know. But today we are safe. The double fight is Nizbel 2. Not the easiest of fights because the AoE damage is fairly high. Between the runarounds and the ground stomps, he can do some AoE damage, but Frog is here. Frog can cast heal, and we'll probably make this fight fairly trivial. Double West Cape Magus is bad. I have not had the displeasure of running into that yet. But yeah, I can see it. And OneFreeFitz is through the doubles fight. So one last piece of gear picked up, a power seal. Luca has learned fire. And I think that is the last tech he had to learn. And I just now saw the grind fight is dropping +4 power tabs. So for AtomRaptors, who has Ayla in the party, that's huge. Because that's going to be probably in the neighborhood of like plus 20, plus 24 power? Ayla could be max power? You could have triple kicks doing 2,000 damage? Makes you really wish there was a prism spec somewhere. We see, looks like Capital is finished with the grind, is making his way down. That puts him about 5 minutes behind Fritz coming up here. And is going to do the frog strat to get Frog Squash to quick clear the scouters. So that will save a little bit of time. AtomRaptors still grinding away. We see Fritz taking on Lavos 1. Lavos 1 script is fairly simple. It's an AoE attack, followed by obstacle, followed by 2 AoE attacks, followed by obstacle, followed by 2 AoE attacks, followed by obstacle. But the 2 AoE attacks do a lot of damage, so having Frog here for AoE heals is nice. Alright, we see Obstacle come out. We don't know what the effect is yet. Chaos. Possibly not terrible because it will get cleared when Lavos makes the next AoE attack. But it did eat 2 turns, which is kind of scary. But now that everyone's up, you just wait for Frog to come up and hope that that's before Lavos' next attack, because I don't know that Marl survives. We're going to find out. Here comes Rain from the Heavens, which does 126 damage. So, miraculously, Marl is a survivor. But it does mean that we're about to see Obstacle again. But Antipode 3 is getting off, so that's going to be another 3,000 damage. That might be enough to break through the shell. Not quite. For new runners, something to keep in mind. Whatever Obstacle is here, Obstacle will also be for Lavos 2. So if you find out that it's Chaos and maybe you were holding on to like was it a memory lock or memory cap, I think, that prevents Chaos that you didn't have on before, you would know to put it on for the Lavos 2 fight. Luca dropped down to 70 HP. They are getting off another Antipode here. Magic tabs also dropping during the grind fights, so free magic as well. You could, in theory, buff your characters to ridiculous portions after the grind. But Fritz has made it through Phase 1, which means there is a save point. You hopefully have at least one shelter left, so you can heal up here, save, and you won't ever have to break your way through the shell again. Also, a good reminder, always check and make sure you used all your tabs, because there's no point in holding on to them at this point. Like that, 4 magic and power tabs. So power tabs onto Frog, magic tabs go onto the Luca, and Luca and Marl. Speed tabs get Marl up faster. That's good, particularly since you're using haste. And that's an interesting discussion of stud versus earring here. Earring means you might survive. Stud means you don't have to worry about MP cost on flare. And we see Capital is getting ready to start the elevator descent here. And we have our first attempt at Lavos 2. Always starts with the Doors of Doom, which will almost kill everyone, usually. Luca with the gold earring can survive the hits, leading with Anapode and a heal. So that's going to do decent damage and hopefully bring everyone up to where they will survive one set of the Boomerangs of Doom. Doomerang was 1, go on to Marl, and leave her with 24 HP. Frog with the Hero Medal actually does a pretty good job surviving. Tabanetto stealing my line. Yeah, it will almost kill anyone not named Robo. Yes. Although Luca with the gold earring obviously would survive too. Marl almost died, but you survived the initial onslaught. And a second Anapode 3 should take out both arms. And now we see there's Obstacle again, takes out Frog, but the next attack from Lavos is very scripted. So after Obstacle comes Poison Slay, which will break Chaos. So you don't have to waste a turn healing Frog. But it's also very low damage, so typically you don't have to worry about it killing you. Alright, and we see Capital get ready to go into the double Nizbel fight. As Fritz is taking on Lavos 2, we see more Anapode 3s coming out. Frog just keeping everyone topped off in terms of HP and MP. Doomblaze coming through. Shouldn't kill Marl? Oh, no, it does. Marl drops and comes back with a green dream. Never mind. False bit of panic. We're all fine here. She's gonna play dead, though. Marl was playing dead. And I'm just saying on AtomRaptors' side, Frog has been brought in and given a bunch of power tabs. Are we seeing a late game swap to Frog? And Fritz has made it past Lavos 2. The next most important thing is getting the menu skip. It's one of the reasons we can do Lavos at the levels we do. As the screen turns black before the fight starts, you can press menu at a precise moment and get into the menu screen in between the fights. I want to say it's not frame perfect, but it's close. Thankfully, there's a musical key. If you listen to the rise and fall of the music, whenever it hits bottom, that's when you press the button. There. And that takes you into the menu screen. And you can re-heal here and get back all your HP and MP and start the fight off fresh instead of having to do it at spend your first 3 rounds trying to heal and survive whatever horribleness that is dropped on you from Lavos 3 and the typical chaos attack that he does in his first time warp. And it looks like we are looking for center bit strats coming from Fritz. As Capital finishes off the Nizbel fight, AtomRaptors is continuing the fall down the elevator. looking for a way to take out these raptors well. Or, sorry, not take out the raptors, he is raptor. Take out the scouts well. The bits on Fritz's side seeming to have an enjoyment of picking on Marl. Center bit has 8,000 HP. You want to kill it with a single target attack, because if you kill it while hitting one of the bits, you will trigger a counterattack. And now we see Lavos possibly threatening to go slappy on people. He calls down some lightning. Crying Heaven's hidden blow is high damage, but we've seen a couple of rainbow helms, which is lightning protection, so it looks like we made it okay there. But Antipode 3 does not kill the center bit. Good. That means center bit right now I think has about 1,000 HP left. So a leap slash probably finishes it off. He has time warped into 65 million BC. That means Grand Dreamstone is coming out. Unless they're able to kill the center bit with this hit. Leap slash for 1,200 damage is not enough. And is going for Antipode 3, which will trigger a counterattack. Because this will kill the center bit, no question. Antipode 2 would hit only the center and also kill the center bit. So that would have been the safer play. With luck, this goes on Marl, who has a green dream. Because that counterattack is almost a guaranteed kill. Oh, Mian pointed out that I missed the center bit got healed by left bit. Thank you for that info there. That explains that. I was confused. We see Capital is taking on the shell and is making the first attempt here to get through. Whereas AtomRaptors is getting ready to take on the double Nizbels. And we're still going with Antipode 3. Are we hoping for counters on Luca? Uh-oh. Okay, good. I was gonna say, does Fritz have revives? I am impressed by the ballsiness here of Fritz going for taking the counterattacks. Luca might survive it, which means Frog's in a position to actually drop a Mega Elixir. And now the center bit's back and it's not as big of a deal. Yeah, the full AoE damage is a very interesting play. Very dangerous. But now that the center bit's back up, the AoEs are kind of free. And Capital has finished the fight against Lavos 1, so we'll be going into Lavos 2 here just a moment. There's the Mega Elixir being dropped, so everyone's back up to full HP for Fritz. Nizbels dropping for AtomRaptors, meaning that we're going to be coming back out with a Lavos 1 fight down there. Crying Heavens coming out, dropping Marl down to 130 HP. And another Antipode 3 will take out the center bit, I think. And the counterattack goes on to Marl. Marl is down again. So I mean, I see the I see the strategy here. I would think that using Antipode 2 probably actually saves time, because it's a shorter animation and does comparable damage, and Frog could be using Leap Slash. But this is working. Antipode 3 turns into a triple tech. Ice 2 plus Flare plus Item Revive. Or you could be using Glacier Mega Bomb. Fair. The right bit, I believe, has 30,000 HP, so we're actually probably getting pretty close to that being done. And the video cut out. The end of the video is as the bit dies. I apologize. That's the downside of some of the asyncs. Let me swap back over. And Choco Sir pointing out Drop Kick, which is a combination Frog Ayla, doing 4.4 damage. And Mian, thankfully, giving me the official final time. 1:31. Thank you, Mian. So now we get to go back and we see the Boomerangs of Doom spelling trouble for Capital, as that's the second reset I think I've seen on Lavos 2 there. Does not have the Green Dream set up, maybe? And instead is going in and adjusting the battle speed. There is no shame in dropping battle speed for Lavos. Now, AtomRaptors get ready to go back in to fight Lavos 1 again. We'll see how that goes. We're able to pay a bit more attention here. Let's see what is up now for Capital. It's round 2 against Lavos. Doors of Doom, dropping everyone down to the 500 HP range. And possibly some issues for Raptor as the timer is running, but the screen has gone black. Was there a soft lock? Admins may want to go get a copy of this AtomRaptors video and see if that was actually a soft lock, because that would be a very annoying place to have one. Also a very unusual place to have one. And we see Capital trying desperately to get at least one of the arms down here before the boomerangs come out. Left arm falls. Right arm is going to have about 1,000 HP left. We see Marl getting haste onto multiple characters here. This should take out the right arm, which means we'll be seeing Obstacle come up soon for Capital. On Raptor side, we see Flare. You know, if Dropkick was doing 4,400 damage, I would have been very tempted to replace Luca with Marl to haste Frog and Ayla to get more drop kicks. The combination Flare plus Dropkick, though, is going to be, what, 7,500 damage total? And the downside of it is Frog won't be able to use AoE healing. because he's used in attacks instead. But you could alternate drop kicks with blaze kicks and still get pretty good damage and get some AoE healing, which is what it looks like Raptor is going into now. So Raptor beating me to the punch there. As we see, Capital's taken down both arms, gotten out of Chaos, and is now just trying to get the damage in ahead of the Doom Blaze. Can Capital make it into Phase 3? Shell goes down for AtomRaptors. That means Lavos 2 getting ready to come up for him. There's Shadow Doomblaze. Everyone's healthy enough. Capital can take the hit. We'll have a few turns to get in some free damage here. And typically, the way the damage works out, right after Shadow Doomblaze is the point where you make it through, and that's where Capital is. We do see the kill go in, so that means on to Phase 3 for Capital, trying to finish this up. Is Capital going to be able to get the menu skip? Over on AtomRaptor side, Luca dropped from the Boomerangs of Doom, your Doomerangs, but dropkick taking out arms. And looks like AtomRaptors is saying, I don't need Luca. I'll just dropkick everything to death. Capital does get the menu skip, so we are seeing the HP command has run out of regular ethers. Probably not a problem, because I see some mid-ethers and hyper-ethers and at least one mega elixir. So, not an issue. I see, looking at the gear here, Black Vest, it will not protect you against anything in this fight. The only elemental attack that will actually save you, or elemental mail that will save you anything, is White Mail or White Vest, if Lavos happens to Crying Heavens on you. All the other elemental mails can be dropped in favor of better defense, like the Zodiac Cape. Now we see Luca being brought back up on AtomRaptor's side, so is able to be brought back into a decent standing spot. And Capital is following in Fritz's path of just dropping Antipode 3s. We see shields coming out to protect everyone from physical attacks. Are we going to see more of the Antipode triple tech, which is Antipode Revive? Ayla dropped down on AtomRaptor's side, so relying now on Luca to get the job done with flares. Oh no, the unfortunate Chaos attack. Luckily, it's just poison on 2 characters. Frog get hit with Chaos, but poison is easily survivable. It does lower your damage. All status effects in the game lower your damage some. And a time warp now to 600 AD. So the attack that comes out here is Evil Star. It is a AoE HP cut. It cuts everyone's HP in half. Can't die from it. And with the heal that came from the left bit, I don't think Antipode 3 is going to kill the center bit. And I see that on AtomRaptor's side, with Ayla down, Lavos has gone into round two of his script. The interesting thing about it is the damage there jumps dramatically on this back half of it. So you are on a clock, but Lavos does fall. So that means going to be going into phase 3 to see if AtomRaptors is able to get the menu skip. Raptors may be out of revives. I think you're correct. I think I saw earlier he didn't have many. And does not have Marl on the team, which means no way of getting people back up off the ground unless there's a green dream hidden somewhere. Raptors does not get the menu skip, which means Ayla starts this fight at 1 HP. Hopefully, he has a Mega Elixir. Doesn't matter. Ayla's down. And automatic reset. So yes, Raptors was out of revives. Which means Raptors is going to have to go through Lavos phase 2 again. And over on Capital side, went to the future. Dreamless is coming out. High damage, but I think everyone survives. Center bit falls, which means a counterattack is incoming. Luca takes a hit to the face and is on the ground. Robo also taking a hit to the face, dropped to 30 HP. So, on the plus side, you've taken down the center bit. You're going to have a chance to do some damage. But I think this cycle is going to be dedicated significantly towards just stabilizing the fight here. And yes, Luca does only have on a black vest, so she has very little in the way of defensive stats. We see Luca has dropped again on Raptor side. May save that revive for the second round. And everyone is back up, but Capital is out of Mega Elixirs. And is going to spend some time trying... Oh, no, that wasn't a Mega Elixir. That was something else that's a gap in the item list. I just saw 2 Mega Elixirs. Looks like we're going to spend some time getting haste kicked back on. Luca is back up for Raptors, so that revive is gone. Now the boomerangs come out. Ayla survives the boomerang with 140 HP. So now with haste on everyone, is that going to be enough to get the damage out? What are we looking at? We're looking at Frog going into Leap Slash and missing, unfortunately. Thought about trying to take out the left bit so that you don't suffer the counterattacks. And Lavos back into Time Wars, going back to the past, gonna have another Grand Dreamstone coming out. 1 revive left for Raptors being used on Ayla. Now we have more damage coming out onto Lavos. Drop Kip going in for 4,000 damage. As we see, can Capital come up with enough damage here? Good hit on the left bit, 9,000 damage. Unfortunately, that means 4 rounds of Leap Slash to take out the left bit. And Marl is down. Everyone else is under 150 HP. And that's an out of revives from Capital, also choosing to reset. So we are back to Lavos 2 for both runners here. And Grove points up, we found out what the inventory gap was. Yes! Now, Capital has said, oh yeah, there's a gate here. I can go back to the end of time and use that to go back to 1000 AD and buy some revives. Sure, you gotta wait through a bit of a... Gotta wait through some cutscenes, or some video cuts, but you'll have enough revives. I was scared for a second. I thought he was about to hit to travel to 1999, which, I mean, would mean we get to see a really awesome cutscene. Also, I forgot that Frog says hi-ho epoch. I kind of want someone to go to the future and rename the epoch Silver, just so you can have Frog say hi-ho Silver. Alright, Raptors has made it through Phase 2 again. On to Phase 3. Capital, armed with a fresh batch of 1100 elixirs. We are going to get to see the cutscene. Oh, no. Don't get my hopes up, Capital. Not like this. This time, AtomRaptors is able to get the menu skip. That's going to help out significantly. All right, and we are burning through the mid ethers to get everyone's MP up, as we are going to have round 2 versus phase 3 start. Capital, where are you going? Okay, I was very confused, but Dropkick has taken out the left bit. AtomRaptors is probably going to be the one person that we're going to see do left bit strats today. Oh no, with the random status effects, Ayla has been stopped in her tracks. Alright, we get a little bit of a cutscene as lavas will erupt from the ground. But the shell is already destroyed, so we will not see the shell fight again. This is also the biggest fake out ever. We're ready to fight! Ah! Oh, there's nothing here. Okay. That is the best fake out in the game. As center left... I'm back! I'm not back. But Dreamless is coming out for massive damage. Frog? Will you survive? Everyone survives. Somehow. I think I saw Mega Elixir selected. Oh, no. We just went into Flare Triple Kick. Okay, Frog used the Mega Elixir. Good. So everyone's healed up. Ayla with 999 HP. And Dropkick coming out onto the right bit. AtomRaptors may be closing in on finishing out Phase 3 here. Capital is on Phase 2 with a fresh batch of revives in hand. Alright, Defense restored. Defense has been dropped again. So more time for damage on the right bit. Boomerangs coming in. Glenn taken down fairly low, but everyone has survived the boomerangs of doom. And drop kick on the right bit for 4,400 damage. My goodness. Left arm is down for Capital. Bit is down for Raptors. That is GG for Raptors. Mian, if you're available and happen to have it available, can you give me his final time? Looks like 2:01 on the nose, from what I see. .201 on the nose. Thank you, Mian. So we have that up, which means we have one last set of fights here. We're going to have Capital battling his way through Phase 2 one last time. With both arms down, damage just flying in. Phase 2, I don't think was the problem for Capital. It was just the fact you got to Phase 3 and had no revives. See the damage coming through. And there goes Phase 2 again. So Phase 2 down, back to Phase 3 for Capital, as we'll see what we're able to come out with. I expect to see more Centerbit strats for the newer runners. A lot of people will see, oh, Anipode 3, so good. And it is. Don't forget that Anipode 2 still does really good damage, because Marl's damage contribution doesn't change. Marl uses Ice 2 in either case. It's just Luca uses Fire 2 instead of Flare. But for a lot of those Phase 3 in particular, it's a single target attack, which means you don't trigger all the counter attacks and can do more damage without having to deal with revives. And it saves you on MP cost, because you don't have to worry about Flare using 20 MP every turn. And it looks like we're going with Frog Haste Super Heals. And also getting Protect down onto everyone this time. Capital seems to be saying, I just want to make sure no one dies. Coming out with Crying Heavens. Will do decent damage, but should be survivable. Drops Luca down to 150 HP. And going into left bit strats with Frog, 900 a pop. That's still gonna be 4 turns before that left bit falls, unless you mix in some auto attacks from the girls. Now Lavos coming over, getting slappy with Marl. With the shield up, though, is able to survive, but is not able to survive a second attack. Lavos coming in with another slap. Frog dropped to 118 and is going to drop again. Luca is the one girl left standing. Thankfully, that's an MP drain. And might be able to stabilize here with the Mega Elixir. So, unfortunately, that means a lot of the work that Capital did, getting the haste up and the shields, has been eliminated through the deaths. And now Luca's on the ground. And Lavos time warping to 65 million BC. Grand Dreamstone's going to come through. Marl will die at 400 HP. With the heal, Marl should survive. Get another haste onto Frog. Is this going to become the Frog and Marl show? Thankfully, the left bit healing the center bit, which has taken no damage. Oh no! Now Frog is down! So Life 2 being used on Frog is going to bring him back up at full HP, but Marl's sitting at 200 HP. An attack from either of the bits will take Marl out still. And there goes Marl. I don't know that Frog can... I don't know that Frog can stabilize. Because Frog's going to have to res Marl. Marl's going to have to survive. Now, Lavos is going to do Evil Star. Evil Star will only cut people's HP in half, which means there is time. Oh, no, this isn't Evil Star. This is Invading Light. Marl's dead again. And Frog is slowed. And that's going to be another reset. So, as we get ready to go into Phase 2 one last time, I hope, what we'll be looking for... Learning how to get through Phase 3 safely is one of the tricks at getting better times, particularly in this Go mode, obviously, because that's the only one that runs into Lavos. Finding your way through, like, what is your method of taking care of Lavos? With this team, you want to take out the center bit. Left bit requires physical damage. You've got to be able to do 3,000 damage basically in a turn or two. The reason AtomRaptors could do that is because Dropkick was dealing 4,000 damage. With just Frog as a physical damage dealer, you can't do left bit strats. You have to do center bit, which means learning how to avoid the counterattacks, which is basically using Antipode 2 instead of Antipode 3 with this particular team. But it's use a single target attack for damage. At least when you get near 8,000 damage. As you get more comfortable, you can do things like Antipode 3 on the first turn to deal 4,000 damage, followed by Antipode 2 to get the rest of the way. You just want to make sure you don't trigger counterattacks with that left bit. It also means you are stuck only doing single target attacks on the right bit once the center bit is down, because again, you don't want to trigger the counterattacks. So Antipode 2 becomes your best friend. Or maybe... No, Frog and Marl don't have a good single target attack. You could do Mega Bomb, Leap Slash, and Haste, if you want to get Haste up then. It is one reason that the all-girl team became so powerful, particularly against Lavos. You could do Antipode 3 in any fight where it's available, like this, and do massive damage. But then when it came to Lavos 3, you could go back to either doing Blaze Kick on the right bit for single target damage, or if you found enough power tabs, Ayla could triple kick the left bit to death, and you could still do left bit strats while doing magic damage. Is Glacier single target damage? Maybe? One of the dual techs is a water explosion. Maybe that's ice water. Glacier, yeah, Glacier may be single target. So yeah. I give credit for trying to slurp cut Lavos. That's kind of funny. I like it. Alright, so, Phase 2. Again, not an issue. Now that's a good point. Mia's pointing out AtomRaptors and Capital are new in the community. This is their first event. Yes, and I will agree with Mia. Glad that new people are taking part in the event and enjoying it. If there are other people who are new here, let me go grab our Discord. If you are new and would like to join in events like this, there's our Discord. Go there, join in. We have the Tent of Horrors, which is kind of like this async, except it's randomized events. Maybe not the most enjoyable place to start this week. I think I saw this week Tent of Horrors is random gear rando. So all gear is randomized. But we are always welcome to new people coming in, learning about the game, learning about the randomizer. We've got some good tutorials on how to get through fights. We've seen Capital do a lot of the item skip, or the fight skips, particularly in Black Dreno. There's an entire video series done by Moon Blizzard that covers a whole bunch of the skips and such in the game. It's a great place to go for learning. And we'll see now as we get into Phase 3, is Capital able to make it through this time? He is doing the Crying Heavens attack again, so we've seen Crying Heavens. It's going to be followed by 2 slaps, and then a warp to 65 million BC, if I remember the script correctly. Okay, we now see Capital going with re-raise strats. If you played Final Fantasy VI, re-raise is life 3, where you are, when you are killed, you are brought back to life. It's like having a green dream. So putting that on Luca means that when Luca falls down, she'll just immediately get right back up again. So that is one way to get around some of this, is just put re-raise on everybody. Unfortunately, let's see. Luca is chaosed. Marl is stopped. Evil Star is the best attack you can see from Lavos because it can't kill you outright. And it means you probably get a chance to come back up, but with Marl stopped, I mean, that losing an entire character is so frustrating. Luckily, we do have heals in our inventory, so that means we're able to get through and get another leap session. Maybe we take the left bit down this time. Left bit goes down. Damage can commence. And the re-raise brings Frog back just in time to get the Mega Elixir. So now, when the core shuts off its defense, we can actually get damage in. Antipode 3 damage coming in. Dreamless. Shouldn't kill anyone. Marl does survive. And the good thing is the second Antipode 3 will take out the center bit. The downside is it will come back in fairly short order. Hopefully the res comes in before the next Antipode goes off. Because unfortunately that means the center bit's going to die and then immediately come back. But it may be with the re-raises on that Capital decides I'm just going to go straight back into Antipode 3s, I hope. And yes, I mean, obviously you can go into Antipode 2. I think the difficult part here, I don't think Capital recognizes that Antipode 2 would act as a single target attack and protect him from the counterattacks. Ugly slap. Some damage going in on Luca. And it looks like Capital is willing to take the counterattack here. Just to get the center bit down. So we are back to the counterattack revive scenario. But Marl and Luca both have high HP and shields on, meaning they might survive the counterattacks. We know Marl can survive it. We just saw it. Can Luca survive it? Maybe we won't find out. That's on Marl. Marl will survive. I feel like that's begging for a song. I know that there's been some talk in the Discord about like doing spoof drinks, but I think we need spoof music too. Damage goes in, and that's going to be time for Capital. And we are through this seed. So GG to all of our runners. A big thanks to 1930 is the final time. To 1930. Pop that time. A big thanks to Capital, Fritz, and Raptors for providing their VODs for us to do this run. Lavos was indeed mean this seed. I hope everyone has enjoyed this rebroadcast. We will have more again next week. I'm hoping that next week will be the Wonder Division. This one's Mystics. The other one is Reptites. So there is an entire division that hasn't even got to be on stream yet. So I'm hoping we get to see them next week. And then maybe we'll be back to the Rainbow Division the week after that. And we'll be cycling through this as we have another 6 weeks or so to go in the Millennial Prix. So I hope everyone has enjoyed that and is looking forward to some more runs. Do be sure to go find all these people on Twitch and give them a follow. Come join our Discord if you're not part of our community. Come enjoy the game. Come learn. Come play with us. We will be glad to show you around. But until our next run, hope you all have a great evening. Enjoy your runs, and may they all be quick. We'll see you soon.